Boom, shaka, laka, boom. This is the Clay Edwards Show. I am Clay Edwards. You have tuned into the free-range human show of choice, your daily dose of reality radio. There's going to be a lot of reality today. A lot of reality. A lot of sad, evil reality today. I'm live here this morning, as always, in the Men's Health and Women's Wellness of Mississippi studios, fresh off a shot of testosterone in my behind this morning. Woo! Let's get it going. Shout out to everybody out there. Y'all be safe. It's raining there on the roads this morning. Well, I guess it's raining everywhere, but if you're on the roads, it's wet. Be careful. Especially if you're driving through Jackson. You know those folks can't drive. I was one of them this morning. Look, I know a lot of people tune into this show because we try to have fun. Real quick, we're only streaming this morning in stunning HD on X and Rumble because of the sensitive nature of this morning's show. With that said, let me get it shared real quick let me take my Rumble link here real quick and share it over to my Facebook page, as I promised people I would, and I just have not done it yet because I want people to be able to find it this morning. So y'all just bear with a brother one sec. But yeah, due to the sensitive nature of this morning's show, talking about the trans killing, the act of trans terrorism, another act of trans terrorism. But I know that a lot of people tune into this show because we try to have fun, we try to make you laugh, we try to have a good time. And I don't know that this morning is going to be one of those days. When serious stuff happens, this is why this show exists, was to be able to, and that's why the term breaking rules when necessary is a tagline of this show. We're going to break rules today. We're going to break rules. We're going to break the left's tyrannical censorship rules. And we're going to speak a whole lot of truth this morning about the trans terrorism. So if you got kids in the car and you haven't had this conversation with them about what trans people are and the whole charade that's been pulled over our eyes or been played on us for the last few years, we've been forced to pretend to take these people serious. This is just your warning. I hope you don't change the channel, but if you do, because you haven't had that conversation with them yet, it's going to get ugly this morning. There's probably going to be something that teeters on the edge of calls for violence this morning without exactly going all the way there. Because that's kind of where I'm at. That's where I'm at this morning. Because I don't fear much, but I fear trans people. Because they hate us. They think that we keep them from existing. Let me post this real quick. Here's the link to this morning's show. I apologize. We only have 7 minutes to switch over here, and I can't share the link till the show goes live, so my hands are kind of tied on doing it before the show opens. All right. There we go. Got that shared to the Facebook page. I can't afford to get blocked on Facebook. I pay a big chunk of my bills off the money I make there. So, unfortunately, I have to not break rules when necessary on Facebook. With that said, I ran into Chip Matthews as I was walking in here this morning, and he's like, "What are you going to talk about?" I said, "Trans terrorism." He's like, "Yeah, it's a mental illness." I'm like, "No, it is not a mental illness. I'm done with that. Transgenderism is not a mental illness. Y'all need to quit saying that. We need to quit saying that. Transgenderism is evil. It's pure Hitler-esque evil. It was created in a lab by the Democrats and unleashed on the rest of the United States of America and, frankly, the world by the liberal left, by the progressive propagandist by the New World Order. You know, we've sat back and we've been told for the last however damn many years that we're the bad guys if we don't affirm their existence. We're the bad guys if we don't call Robert Robin or Robin Robert. Robin Roberts. That we're the evil ones if we don't go along with this charade. We are not the evil ones. We are not the ones killing children as they pray in mass at a Catholic school, shooting innocent people. We are not the ones going into a gay bar in Orlando, Florida, and killing however many dozens of people. We are not the ones going into a Catholic school in Nashville, Tennessee, and killing people, killing children. I got a whole list of the things that we are not, that we keep getting continuously blamed on being. Pull it up here. I'm fed up. I don't care what this cost me today. Anybody that wants to jump off this ship because of my thoughts and opinions on this, holla. Don't let the door hit you where the good Lord split you. But we want to know. We want to know what side you're on. Because if you ain't on this side, you're on the wrong side. There ain't no gray area. It's black and white. You're either on the side of good or you're on the side of evil. Clay says mean words. You're damn right I do. I say a lot of mean words. I speak the truth is what I do. I speak the truth. And if the truth is mean, then you need to hear it. We're about to create some good times again, but we got to shake off some weak men and cuck punks to do it. Here's just the last few. Trans-involved acts of terror that were waged on this country. Yesterday's Minnesota church school shooting. The Republican Party firebombing. That was gender fluid. The Nashville shooter was trans. The Colorado Tesla arsonist, trans. The Colorado Springs shooter, non-binary. The Aberdeen shooter, trans. The Denver school shooter, trans. The Iowa school shooter, trans/gender fluid. The AMC stabber, trans. Are you beginning to see a pattern here? It's an epidemic, a pandemic even. This ain't about guns. Trey Gowdy, I'm coming for you. I'm telling you right now, kids, cover your ears. Trey Gowdy steps foot in Mississippi, I'm bitch slapping his ass. That ain't a threat, that's a promise. When are we gonna do something about these white guys with guns? Black people, I hope y'all are listening this morning. I always call y'all out. You know, we call out the good black folks for the culture rot. Because y'all don't say anything about the culture rot in your community. You defend the worst in your community with some lame ass excuses about systemic poverty, racism, all that other crap. And I tell you that we don't stand for that over here in our community. And it's why our community strives and excels, because we ain't scared to call out the trash in our community. That's what I'm doing this morning. I'm taking out the trash in the white community. The trash in the white community is this trans nonsense. It's this LGBTQ agenda. And I'll say it before because I'll say it, blah, 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 blah. I'll say it again because I've said it before. And I'll say it every time. Normal gay people that don't make who they sleep with their religion, I'm not talking to you. I'm not talking about you. See, I don't even consider trans as part of the original LGBTQ movement. Trans are just evil. Period. Evil. Incarnate. We're going to unpack some things this morning. We're going to play some videos. We're going to peel the onion back. We may get to some other topics before the end of the show, but at minimum, the first hour this morning, we're going to drive the nail into the casket of this trans agenda. Again, for the last however many years, we've been told that we must affirm their existence. And they have brainwashed these people. They have groomed these people. And make no mistake, it is grooming, and it came down from the top of this country, from the Obama White House to now. Well, till Trump got back in office. The killer, the terrorist yesterday, Robert, wrote "Kill Trump" in its transfesto. I don't know if y'all saw any of the clips or the videos of that evil thing before it went in there and killed those kids and shot those other innocent people. Where it said the teachers are in their staff meeting. They'll never expect a shooting the first week of school. And it was so excited about getting to kill kids. And this is all because the Democrats, the white liberals and the black Democrats who have supported them and followed them right off the edge of a cliff. And this is why I go so hard against black people. Now, black Democrats. Because y'all claim to be Christians, but you're not. There's no way you can support a party that supports and funds this type of evil and look in the mirror and call yourself a Christian. We've often asked the question, I think I jokingly talked about it, brought it up yesterday about you can't be a Democrat and a Christian. This is why you cannot be a Democrat and a Christian. You cannot honestly be a Democrat and a Christian. These people are out here killing people in the name of their political religion. Then you have that cuck mayor in Minnesota talking about, this ain't about thoughts and prayers. These kids were killed while praying. I will not entertain anything from a cuck that sat there and cried on George Floyd's casket. Screw you, you cuck. Let's take a break. When we come back, we're going to play some video and just continue to unpack this. If you want to call in this morning, the Mazda Jackson phone line, 601-879-0002. The Guns and Gear text line, 769-241-1944. I recommend getting out to Guns and Gear today, 9 o'clock when they open, and strap down. Get loaded up. The trans are coming for you. Are you ready for them? I'm telling you. I see a trans person walking to a room where I'm at, I'm finding my way out of that room. These people are evil. Evil. I don't want nothing to do. I don't want to be around. I ain't going to be around them. They're evil. They hate us. They want to kill your children. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. Especially if you're Catholic for some reason. My God. Why are Catholic schools hiring transgender people to begin with? Talk about letting the rooster in the hen house. Well, Clay, you can't just not hire somebody because they're trans. The hell you can't. I'll take the lawsuit any day before I live with having some kids killed on my watch. You wouldn't hire a bank robber to work at a bank. You wouldn't hire a pedophile to work at a daycare. Why would you hire a trans to work around kids at a Catholic school? They hate y'all. Us. Welcome back in to the Clay Edwards Show. Live here on WYAB, streaming worldwide this morning exclusively on X and Rumble. If you want to watch the show on X, it's at SaveJXN. If you want to watch the show on Rumble, it's at Clay Edwards Show. Again, due to the sensitive nature of today's show, we are not streaming on the big tech platforms, the pro-censorship platforms. I don't mind using them to take advantage of the audiences they provide me on a regular day, but we are not going to stream this content there. And first and foremost, this is a radio show on WYAB right here in Jackson, Mississippi. We call it a free speech platform. We call it our First Amendment outpost that was coined by Mike Madison a few years ago. And it's days like today that I am so grateful to have this platform, WYAB, the mothership, as I call it. Everything else, all the streaming, all the video, all the podcasts, that's just bells and whistles. This is the car. This is the bus that drives this thing down the road. Everything else is just an AutoZone accessory. So, again, what Matt Wesolowski and his family and business have, and the opportunities they've created for us to get on here and have this platform to speak. And again, I don't speak for them. There's usually a little thing that runs at the beginning of the show that this host does not represent the values, whatever it is, of WYAB. Doesn't necessarily represent WYAB, whatever it is. The disclaimer. And I'm putting that disclaimer out this morning. These are the thoughts and opinions of a madman named Clay Edwards. These aren't the thoughts and opinions of anybody that advertises or anybody that I'm affiliated with. So just getting that out of the way. So if you don't hear me talking about sponsors today, it's just because of the sensitive nature of today's show. I do want to get one out of the way. Big old party this weekend at Cypress Point Resort. It is the all play, no work Labor Day weekend extravaganza with 8 bands jamming outside in the parking lot on the big stage. Got people inside. Man, I just saw Friday night in the lounge, in the tavern, the Steakhouse Tavern. They got Philip Yarbrough and Zach Bridges teaming up for a duo. That wasn't even on the flyer. That's going to be huge. Good luck getting a seat for that. Then you got all the other great bands outside. We'll tell you more about it. You can hear the commercials. They're rocking and rolling here all throughout the show. Real quick, and we're going to get back into this. I got some video queued up and ready to go. The bands. Let me just run them down for you real quick. Saturday, starting at 2 o'clock, you got the Lincoln Outfit outside on the parking lot stage. 6:30 p.m. in the tavern, you got Lauren Lindsay. 6:30 to 11 outside in the parking lot, you got Acoustic Crossroads plus the All-Star Jams. So I guess when it's a full band, they call themselves ACR plus All-Star Jams. Saturday, starting at 4 o'clock out in the parking lot on the big stage, you got the Jason Stogner Band. Jason Stogner brought the biggest crowd I've ever seen at Cypress Point Resort one night. Then at 6:30 outside on the big stage, you got 2 of my favorite guys in the world. These guys are blowing up. They're going to be playing a headlining weekend at Floribama soon. You got the Stevens Brothers. Hey, look, I'm telling you guys, go see the Stevens Brothers while you still can. They will be playing stadiums in the next 5 years. Sunday, 1 p.m., it all gets started again. Right after church, right after lunch, 1 p.m., Burnham Road, outside on the big stage. Then, 5 p.m., the Livestock Band. And at 8:30, Steel Hollow. My old boy Jimmy, the used to own Pops, is the bass player in Steel Hollow. Y'all go see them, man. Great band. Oh, and I'm sorry, I got that wrong. That Saturday is the Lincoln Outfit. I said Sunday. Let me do this again. Saturday's the Lincoln Outfit, Lauren Lindsay, and ACR. Sunday is Burnham Road, Livestock Band, and Steel Hollow. Monday, maybe I did get it right. Anyway, Monday is Jason Stogner and the Stevens Brothers. I think I got Sunday and Monday spun around there. Anyway, we'll tell you more about it. Let's get back to it. Just plan on being at Cypress Point Resort all weekend long. their big Labor Day festival. Somebody texted in and suggested that I tell y'all what trans is exactly, in case you don't know. It's plain and simple. Trans, by the modern definition, is a man pretending to be a woman and a woman pretending to be a man. So if it's called a trans man, that's actually a woman. If they call themselves a trans woman, that's actually a man. Well, Clay, I mean, they cut their penis off. They're just a man without a penis. They're still not a woman. I don't care if you got a bonus hole now. You were born a man. I don't care what you're pretending to be now. I'm not going along with it. You're cosplaying a man or a woman, whatever. You're like Tootsie, working 9 to 5. You're still a man. And I said rooster in the hen house earlier. I meant fox in the hen house. Thank you, Corey, for correcting me. I get fired up sometimes. Get things wrong. Even I get things wrong every now and then. So that is the modern definition of trans. And I guess you can be a trans anything nowadays. You can be a trans cat, trans dog, trans donkey. You know, I bet you the one thing Democrats won't let you be is trans black. Oh, no. Won't be any of that. Won't be any of that. Won't be no culture jacking. You can't be trans black. You can be trans anything else, though. You can't pretend to be black. Again, black folks, I want y'all to mark this day down. Y'all say, you don't talk about white people. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. We're talking about them today. And look, y'all got a lot of trans in the black community, too. You been to Atlanta lately? It is the transgender capital of America. See, but the black trans don't bother me. I mean, they ain't my cup of tea, but they don't bother me. Because you know what they ain't doing? They ain't running up in schools killing kids. They just being freaks. So I'd still be a freak. So I don't have no problem with you just being a freak. What I have a problem with is a lab-created evil being unleashed on the globe like these mostly white transgenders are. It's evil. And the lab, and I know I shielded for TikTok because I was making $8,000 a month on TikTok at one point. It was paying my bills and then some. Of course, I didn't want to lose TikTok. You wouldn't want to lose over half your income either. So don't go stand on some fake moral high ground and act like you wouldn't have shielded for your pay too. But that lab that created this is TikTok and Instagram, but especially TikTok. If your kid is autistic, keep them away from the internet. The internet is taking autistic children and turning them trans. Google it if you don't believe me, or whatever search platform or AI that you use to confirm things. As a matter of fact, let's do that right now. I got Grok pulled up. I couldn't get Grok to write me anything super duper negative about. I was trying to get it to help me write a monologue this morning, and then I decided to wing it myself. And Grok is a little more woke than I thought, but we're going to ask Grok a question here. I can do it on my phone. Let's see here. We got Grok right here. Let's ask Grok. What was the question I was about to ask? I had shot a complete brain fart. What was the question we were about? Oh, yeah, autistic. Tying autistic into trans. Where'd it go? I'm going to give it access to my mic here. Grok.
Hey there. What's on your mind this morning? Need help with something?
Yes. Is there a connection between transgender youth and autism? Let's see what it
There's some
says.
research suggesting a higher prevalence of autism spectrum disorder among transgender youth compared to the general population. Studies indicate transgender individuals may be 3 to 6 times more likely to have autism traits, possibly linked to shared factors like brain development or social challenges, but the exact connection isn't fully understood. Want me to dig into specific studies or stats on this?
No, that's it. Thank you. All right, so I'm going to go back and read that in case y'all couldn't hear. So I asked Grok, is there a connection between transgender youth and autism? There's some research suggesting a higher prevalence of autism spectrum disorder among transgender youth compared to the general population. Studies indicate transgender individuals may be 3 to 6 times more likely. Y'all listen to that again. 3 to 6 times more likely to have autism traits possibly linked to shared factors like brain development or social challenges. But the exact connection isn't fully understood. We got to take another break. We can unpack that some more. I'm just telling you, I love autistic kids. I love autistic people. I just people with I love people that are on the spectrum because they are the most honest people you will ever meet. And they are being taken advantage of. They're committing genocide on autism, on people with autism. That is what transgenderism is. The modern transgenderism is a form of genocide on autistic and people on the spectrum. They get them to convert to transgenderism because it is a religion. Make no mistake. It is a religion to them. And then their suicide rates skyrocket. Let's ask Grok another question real quick. Grok, what is the suicide rates among people with transgender people? Let's see what it says here.
Transgender individuals face significantly higher suicide rates than the general population. Research shows about 80% of transgender adults in the U.S. have considered suicide at some point, with around 40% attempting it. This is roughly 7 times higher than cisgender adults for suicidal thoughts and 4 times higher for attempts.
Let me just read this. Then we're going to get a break. So I asked it, are the suicide rates higher amongst people who are transgender? It says transgender individuals face significantly higher suicide rates than the general population. Research shows about 80% of transgender adults in the U.S. have considered suicide at some point, with around 40% attempting it. This is roughly 7 times higher than cisgender adults. Now, cisgender is a fancy term. It's a slur to them. They'll call you, I'm cis. I'm a straight man that doesn't think he's a woman. I'm cis. You're damn right I'm cis. Anyway, this is roughly 7 times higher than cisgender adults for suicidal thoughts and 4 times higher for attempts. Non-binary transgender individuals often report even higher rates. And youth limbs like discrimination, lack of family support, and barriers to gender-affirming care drive these numbers. Gender-affirming care is another phrase that they've taken similar to family planning. What's that one? Planned Parenthood. So, yeah, Planned Parenthood sounds great. Black Lives Matter? Of course Black Lives Matter. All lives matter. That sounds great. They take these phrases that are hard to argue and, oh, they're evil. Oh, they're evil. Gender-affirming care means cutting your penis off. Cutting your tits off. Ripping a vagina between your legs. That's gender-affirming care. Does that sound very affirming? Does that sound very caring? Let's take a break. We'll be right back. Breaking rules when necessary. That's what we're doing this morning. We're coming after Trey Gowdy next. We'll be right back. Into the Clay Edwards Show here live in the Men's Health and Women's Wellness of Mississippi studios. Man, I tell you, I feel so good. I feel so good this morning. I got that fresh shot of testosterone. I took my Samorlin last night. Guys, reach out to them over at Men's Health in Mississippi. Text my name, Clay. That's all you got to do is text Clay to 601-800-5130. 601-800-5130. 601-800-5130 and start experiencing getting your manhood back. It's the best way I can put it, bro. Get your manhood back with testosterone. Quit feeling meh. Just quit just living life, waiting to die. Get back to being productive. Get back to chasing your dreams, your goals, your aspirations. Get back to making her eyes roll back in the back of her head. Testosterone can help you with all that. Go get that free screening today. Or get scheduled for that free testosterone screening today. I think I've talked about it so much I forgot to mention it's a free screening. Text Clay. 601-800-5130. All right. Trey Gowdy. What a cuck. I mean, look, there's so many of these people that I never liked. And I've told y'all that I didn't like these people, these establishment Republicans. And you're like, Clay, what do you mean you don't like them? But they support Trump. These are the same people that support school choice, by the way. These are the same people that support this school choice scam that they're trying to force on us. That are now calling for gun control for white males. It all ties together nice, doesn't it? Because it's socialism with lipstick. Let me get this arranged here. All right, there we go. We got it. Here's Trey Gowdy telling them that they should come to Mississippi and take our guns, because that's what I heard. We're coming to take Clay Edwards' guns. We're coming to shut guns and gear down. We're coming for Mississippi's guns. All you straight white male Christians, we're coming for your guns. That's what I heard. Tell me what you hear.
All of us. And I have heard about a whole lot of hate that's being directed at our trans community.
I'm sorry, wrong video. Wrong video, damn it. Well, I'll tell you what, this is the mayor. No, I done got too hyped about playing Trey Gowdy. We're going to play Trey Gowdy. I done got too hyped. Here's Trey Gowdy. I don't know if they can hear this online. I think I've screwed that up. But either way, here's Trey Gowdy.
Our system is reactive. Something bad happens, we react to it. And what people are crying for now is, how can we prevent this? How can we stop it? And the only way to stop it is to identify the shooter ahead of time or keep the weapons out of their hands. And so we're going to have a conversation of freedom versus protecting children. I mean, how many school shootings does it take before we're going to have a conversation about keeping firearms out? It's always a young white male, almost always. I mean, did anyone this morning think, I wonder if that was a female? Did any of y'all think that? I mean, there's been one school shooting involving a female.
Yeah, hold on.
Yeah, Tennessee.
Trey. The male that did it thought it was a female, as a matter of fact. As a matter of fact, the idiot, evil, transgender person thought it was a female. Robert, who called himself Robin, in fact, thought it was a female. That's who thought it was a female. Half the country, based on the votes in the last presidential election, well, just under half, thought it was a female. The Mississippi Free Press, who have refused to report on this, Ashton Pittman, Donna Ladd, who have not even sent a tweet out, and I'm not on Blue Sky, but I'm guessing they didn't sign up for the verification thing. Thank you, Lindsey Beckham. Mississippi Free Press has not covered the biggest story in America today because they thought it was a woman. Oh, they are so conflicted over there at the Mississippi Free Press office. Hold on, we've got about 2 seconds left of this.
But other than that, it is usually young white males.
All right. There's Trey Gowdy saying, come take all the guns from white males. Well, the Mississippi Free Press is mighty conflicted this morning, aren't they? Or yesterday. Oh, they want to talk so bad about gun control and white males with guns, but they can't admit it was a white male because it was a transgender psychopath that thought it was a woman, and they can't dead name Robin. They got to go with it. They can't do it. They can't cover it. They've hit a wall. Like, well, we can't talk bad about transgenders. We can't say it was a white male because it's a trans woman. What do? We just stick our heads in the sand and pretend it didn't happen, Donna. That's what we do. That's Donna Ladd and Ashton Pittman having a conversation. I know I couldn't gay it up enough to do a good Ashton impersonation, but just do that in your gay voice. Because, I mean, look, I done called them out. I've been over to their Twitter, X, whatever. I done gone to their website. As of last night at 11 o'clock, they didn't have a single article up about the number one story in America. They would be tripping over themselves if it had just stayed Robert, not Robin. We'll be right back. This is the Clay Edwards Show. Welcome back in to the Clay Edwards Show. I want to play a quick video, a little reminder for y'all. It's no coincidence that this happened up in Minnesota. Not a coincidence at all. You know, because Tim Walz is friends with school shooters. That's right. He's become friends with some of them, y'all. Clay, how do you know that? Clay, you don't know that Tim Walz has become friends with school shooters. This is the guy that was almost the vice president of these United States of America with his jazz hands and all. Gay. Anyway, here's Tim Walz telling you that he's become friends with school shooters. I bet you that old Timmy Tim had Robert, a.k.a. Robin, on the speed dial. If this was the MySpace days, old Tim would have had Robert in his top 8. Here's Tim standing right next to the J.D. Vance during the vice presidential debate, telling you that he's friends with school shooters.
Governor, you previously opposed an assault weapons ban, but it's only later in your political career did you change your position. Why?
Yeah, I sat in that office with those Sandy Hook parents. I've become friends with school shooters. I've seen it. Look.
No, listen to what he's saying.
Why?
Yeah, I sat in that office with those Sandy Hook parents. I've become friends with school shooters. I've seen it. Look,
I'll play it again, just in case y'all misheard him.
Change your position. Why?
Yeah, I sat in that office with those Sandy Hook parents. I've become friends with school shooters. I've seen it. Look, the NRA.
He's become friends with school shooters, y'all. I mean, he said it, not Clay. That's big time Timmy Tim right there. That's the man. That's the guy that the Democrats thought were going to get the male vote for him. Old jazz hands. The guy whose wife said she loved the smell of the burning tires during the George Floyd riots. These people are crazy. These people are evil. And we're at a crossroads right now in America, and you got to decide. There ain't going to be no riding the fence. But, Clay, I don't want to offend them. Well, you're the problem. You're the problem. You've already cut your penis off and thrown it away because you're scared to speak the truth and to call them out. You ain't a man, in my opinion. We'll be back in 7 minutes. Is there a better intro in all of talk radio? I mean, I'm over here, people watching me online probably think I'm a crazy man. Well, I am a madman. I'm over here slapping myself, getting pumped up, listening to You Never Met a Mother Quite Like Me. Love it, brother. Love it. Fired up this morning. This is the Clay Edwards Show. We call it the free-range human show of choice. It's your daily dose of reality radio. It's right here, exclusively, in Jackson, Mississippi, on 103.9 FM WYAB, the free speech radio station. Maybe the last one in America, possibly the last one in the world. There's no notes on the door from the boss man saying, don't talk about this, don't talk about that. He gives us all the rope in the world to come in here and hang ourselves. And I said, tighten it up, boss. Tighten it up. I'm coming in. I'm hanging high this morning. I'm hanging high this morning. I'm letting it all hang out this morning. You got to have days like this. You got to have shows like this. You got to have tough conversations. here on the reality radio program. Now, we got a great cast of characters here at WYAB that all let it hang out every day, from Chip Matthews to myself to Andrew Gasser to Lindsey Beckham to Kim Wade, formerly Jamison Haygood, Mike Madison. I forget Mike's guy still does a couple days a week. You know, and then we other folks that are revolving cast of characters that are in and out of here, Chris Hinkle and others. So it's an interesting platform. Sean Yerkron, gosh, sorry, Sean, and it's a bunch of people who aren't scared to speak their minds, and we don't all always agree. There's a lot of things we don't agree on. Me and Lindsay, I think I'm the only person here at this station that's anti-school choice. You know, everybody else is all for it. They look at me like I'm over here alone on an island on that one. But I don't, other than people that are in politics or whatnot, I don't know a single person that thinks that's a good idea. None of my neighbors want it. None of my elected politicians in Rankin County want it. So I'm just not sure where this push for it's coming from. But we talked about that a whole day this week. We're not going to do it again today. But my point is, I bring that up because we all get on here at WYAB and speak our truths. And if nobody else agrees with it, oh well, I respect the hell out of the other people at this station for having their opinion and knowing that I disagree with it and they still have it, and vice versa. I don't have to agree with you to respect you. As long as you believe what you're saying, I'm with you. You know, I can respect you, except when it comes to this transgender nonsense. Because I don't believe that you really believe it. I believe that, I know, as a matter of fact, that you don't believe it. You're just going along to get along. Too many of you are going along to get along. Too many of you are worried about your jobs. You know, I know there's a car lot in town. As a matter, I'm just going to call them out. The Gray Daniels car lots. You know, they were bought by a group a couple years ago that was heavily backed by George Soros. I don't know that he's still involved in it or whatnot, but I know that when you get hired there now, you have to sign an agreement that you don't talk about politics and stuff on social media. I find that very disturbing. I find that very disturbing. I think people should be able to say whatever they want on social media and it not affect their jobs within reason. But I guess this is the whole within reason. What's within reason? I don't even think, frankly, I mean, they're very little. I think that I don't think you should be able to get on there and suggest anything that would break the law. But anything other than that, so that would suggest that you can't suggest harming people. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, like, you should absolutely be able to get online today and say that transgenderism is evil, that transgenderism is mental illness, if that's what you believe. And that should not affect your job. That 100% should not affect your job. Speaking the truth should not affect your job. You know, talking about the violence in black communities. That's not racism. That's reality. That shouldn't affect anybody's job. I mean, we live in a very odd society where speaking the truth can somehow affect your job. Well, it's true. Yeah, you know, but it offends people. Start breaking some kneecaps around here. These people that think this stuff offends people. And that'll start changing. That'll start changing. But I know that I have moved up the list today I have moved up the assassination list on the crazy transgenders around here today. If I'm not number one by after today, I don't know who is. Some crazy nut job sitting off in a corner with a 5 o'clock shadow, a dress on, smearing lipstick on their face. Like, was it Happy Gilmore? Where Steve Buscemi was dressed up like that. And he's, after Adam Sandler did something for him, he scratched his name off the kill list. That's what I vision right now. Some nut job over in a corner listening to the Clay Edwards show this morning. Just mad. Ree! I'm going to kill Clay Edwards. I wish you would. I wish you'd try. Don't let me be a martyr. Replace that statue in downtown Brandon with the one of Clay Edwards, pounding back a couple beers, looking like Stone Cold Steve Austin. I'll go out like that. Make me a martyr. Take care of my family. Make me a martyr. I don't like you people. So that's my thing is I don't have to pretend to. I don't have to pretend to. But I said it in the first segment. Man, if you've got autistic children, keep them away from the internet. They're coming for your children. They are coming for your autistic children. They're trying to turn them trans and eventually have them commit suicide. This is a form of genocide. I read the stats earlier. This ain't hyperbole here. This is factperbole. This is clayperbole. My buddy Bobby, shout out to Bobby. I'm going to read some of y'all's text here in a minute. The Guns of Gear text line, by the way, is 769-241-1944. 769-241-1944. My buddy Bobby sent me a text. Man, me and Bobby go back 35 years, man. It's so crazy. Well, not 35 years, 30 years. It's so crazy to know that you've known somebody that long. But I've known Bobby since I was 15, 16 years old. I'm 48 now, so 30 plus years. You know, he sent me a link and it said, apparently the trans need guns because they are being attacked and denied hormones. He sent me a Reddit thread. I'm not going to get into all that right now, but I will read that later. And I just replied, because the trans communities keep saying they're under attack. The transes are under attack, y'all. They're being gunned down in the streets because they're trans. Where? What? Where has a trans person? Now I'm going to put an asterisk on this at the end. I'm going to explain the asterisk. But where's a trans person been shot by a bullet that didn't come out of a gun that they pointed at themselves? Where? Where are they killing the transes at? Other than on the doctor's table, the surgery table, when they do the gender affirming care. That's where the trans people go to die. They may not die in that moment, but that's where they go to die. When all the hip hip hoorays and the you go girls, when all that goes away, when all the likes on social media stop, when those dopamine hits stop, once they've converted, they don't need them no more. Once you've cut your penis off, ripped your tits off, done whatever, start taking testosterone, too much testosterone as a female, whatever it is you do to try to become more manly or become more feminine, they don't need you no more. You're done, you're gone. You're one out of the gene pool. You're not reproducing anymore. The bloodline has been killed. Stop, dead in its tracks. You're useless to them now. Once all the attaboys and all that stuff stop, that's when they kill themselves. Oh, wait, I got used by the Democrats. But it's my day of visibility. No, it's not. Shut up. There's no day of visibility. We all see you, you idiot. So here's the asterisk for where trans people are being killed because they're trans, but it's not necessarily because they're trans and somebody's so offended that they kill them. It's because there's a lot of black trans prostitutes in Atlanta, Georgia, in the ghettos across America, across the South in particular. A lot of trans black prostitutes that are tricking, literally, men into having sex with them but the men think they're women. And then after they've hidden the old thing comes untucked, and they realize they just raw dogged a man. Sorry, I don't know how else to say it. They freak out and they kill the tranny. That is where trans are being killed because they're trans. But again, I'll say it's not because they're trans. It's because they tricked a dude into having sex with a dude. And the dude freaks out and kills him. Because the dude didn't know he was doing some gay stuff. Trans people are dying like that. I will give you that. But let's just be honest. That is a little bit more of a fa-fo than anything. Literally. Effed around. It's more homophobic than transphobic. Is it even homophobic? I don't think so. I just think it's that, you misrepresented yourself. Daddy ain't gay. So I asked Grok. We're going to run a little over on this segment here. I asked Grok, I said, are there any cases of trans people being killed in America because they're trans? I said, also, if there are any confirmed cases, I assume it's in the black community where trans prostitutes tricked their tricks into thinking they were women and got themselves killed by the straight men. And I have not read the answer yet, so it may contradict me, but I'm reading this with y'all in live time, and then we got to take a break. Grok says, yes, there are numerous confirmed cases of transgender people being killed in the United States due to their gender identity, often rooted in transphobia, racism, and misogyny. I don't believe any of this, by the way. According to the Human Rights Campaign, see, I'm going to stop right there. The Human Rights Campaign is another lie. That's another Southern Poverty Law Center. They taking these same statistics or these same things I just told you. They're taking every time a trans prostitute gets themselves killed because they tricked a straight man into going into bunghole. They're taking that and they're calling that transphobia murder. We're going to read it because I ain't going to leave y'all hanging. Let's see what it says, but I'm telling y'all that's what it is. There ain't been no hate crimes of trans people being killed. But the hate crime was yesterday. So it says misogyny, racism, blah, blah, blah. According to the Human Rights Campaign 2024 report on violence against transgender and gender expansive people, at least 36 such individuals were killed November 21st, 2023 to November 20th, 2024, with 30 of those occurring in the calendar year 24. This continues a long-term pattern since 2013. The Human Rights Campaign has documented at least 372 fatal incidents, with 82.8% of the victims being transgender women. That means men. 68.6 identifying as black, either exclusively or in combination with other racial identities. Every Town for Gun Safety's analysis similarly reports at least 263 transgender homicides from 17 to 23, with 60% of gun-related cases involving black transgender women, men, and nearly 3/4 involving firearms overall. These deaths are not isolated. They reflect systemic issues, including interpersonal violence by intimate partners in 26% of the cases since 2013. Random acts, allegedly, 23%, and structural factors like homelessness or involvement in underground economies such as prostitution, drugs, etc. Regarding your specific assumptions about cases primarily occurring in the black community involving transgender sex workers who tricked straight men into violence, this narrative aligns with controversial legal strategy known as trans panic defense. There's a defense. This happens so much that it has a defense name, y'all. Trans panic defense. Sean, are you taking notes this morning? Where perpetrators claim that discovering a victim's transgender identity during an intimate or sexual encounter provoked an uncontrollable reaction, often seeking to reduce charges from murder to manslaughter or even justify the act as self-defense. However, this defense is widely criticized as rooted in transphobia and homophobia. I love when they say rooted in. Booty rooted in transphobia and homophobia. And it perpetrates victim blaming by implying the victim is at fault for not disclosing their identity sooner. They are at fault. I'm a woman. I like it in the back. Oh my God, you're not a woman. I ain't gay. Bang. I let them walk. If I'm on that jury, innocent. We'll be right back. This is the Clay Edwards Show. Welcome back in to the Clay Edwards Show. Live here on 103.9 FM WYAB. Streaming worldwide at WYAB.com as well as the TuneIn app and Alexa. Just search WYAB. We're also streaming this morning exclusively on Rumble at Clay Edwards Show and on X at SaveJXN. YouTube and Facebook, ain't no way in hell they would allow this type of content on those airwaves. It would air, and then their AI would understand what just happened and would burn my account. And I make too much money on there to allow that to happen. So every now and then, you just got to. We're a radio show first and foremost, and I said it when I opened the show this morning. The radio show is the bus. It's the vehicle. All the other stuff, the streaming and all that, that's just the bells and whistles. That's the accessories from AutoZone. They're nice. I like them. You know, I love the little Christmas tree air freshener, the Black Magic, the Black Ice hanging down from my rearview mirror. But I can live without it. It's the vehicle that I got to have, and that's the radio show. So Lindsay had asked a second ago why the show wasn't streaming on YouTube. I guess I should give her a heads up. Yeah, when you do your show today from noon to 1 here at WYAB, if you get on there and talk about the transes the way we have this morning, you won't have a YouTube account by tomorrow morning. Anyway, what was I going to say here? Let's read a couple of your texts on the Guns and Gear text line. Let's do that. 769-241-1944. Unknown texter says, where'd that go? Okay, here we go. Unknown texter says, today is one of the first times I've touched Rumble since you did not want to stream on YouTube. I can't fault you today on that. Sometimes I wish I could be trans Clay Edwards. You are a good role model. Heck yeah. I can get, now that's a trans I can get behind. You want to be Clay Edwards for a day? You can be Clay Edwards for a day. I'll even let you borrow my shoes. And then that same person asked, what's a cuck? I told him what a cuck was. Gotcha, was the response. Gotcha. I said, yeah, basically the worst thing you could say about another man. If you don't know what a cuck is, Google it. I'll say a lot of things on the show. Oh, you know what? Your kids should be out of the car by now, right? A cuck is a man that likes to sit in the, you ever go into a hotel and you ever wonder why they have one chair in the corner? So another way of saying this is telling a man, y'all got somebody you don't like at work? Do this today. If they come at you wrong, if they smart off at you, somebody gets at you on the internet, bothering you in your comments, and it's a guy, say, man, you're the reason why that hotel, that chair's in the corner at the hotel. They're the reason why that chair's in the corner at the hotel. Clay, what does that mean? It's for guys that like to watch other men do stuff with their wife while they do stuff with themselves. Is that the most PG-13 way I can say it? That's a cuck. That's what I think Trey Gowdy is. That's what I think the mayor of Minnesota is. Speaking of that, I want to play this clip real quick from the mayor of Minnesota saying the trans community is under attack, y'all. Oh, they're gonna be. They're going to be. There will be retribution for this. I'm not calling for it. I'm not saying it ain't going to be me. Well, I mean, unless you come at me. But there will, some redneck somewhere, some good Christian patriot or redneck somewhere is sitting back thinking, you know what? That's a line too far. Shooting kids while they're praying at church, school mass, whatever. That's just a line too far. I've had enough. It's time to do some trans, what's the word I'm looking for here? Let's make up a word. Since the whole trans thing's made up anyway, let's make up a word with it. Let's do a little trans genociding. That's what some redneck is going to say. And when they have one of these trans breakfast things one day somewhere, like they do here in Mississippi, when they have one of these pride days somewhere, some dumbass is going to do something that takes this thing to a level we can't peel it back from because of stuff like this. And that's what they want, by the way. That is what the Democrats want. They want some Christian, patriot, or redneck to go get revenge for this so they can kick in their plan. Now, we got a wolf at the door in Donald Trump, holding it back, fighting it back. But you know what? We had Donald Trump in office when COVID hit too, and he folded like a sheet in the wind. He folded like an accordion, I guess is the saying. So I don't know. Let's play this. This is the Minneapolis mayor, Jacob Frey. Jacob Cook.
All of us. And I have heard about a whole lot of hate that's being directed at our trans community.
Yep, coming from right here in Jackson, Mississippi, from Clay Edwards.
Anybody who is using this as an opportunity to villainize our trans community or any other community out there has lost their sense of common humanity.
I have. I've absolutely lost my sense of common humanity. You're right. Guilty. Guilty as charged. We've all lost our sense. And we're 30-something, we're 25 seconds into a 38-second video, and he ain't said a damn word about the kids that got killed. But what about the transes? We can't blame the transes. Why y'all blame white males every damn time there's a shooting? It's let's go after the white males. We can't go after the transes. We can't keep that same energy. If it was a white conservative male that did it, it would be all hands on deck. I mean, Trey Gowdy jumped out in front of it before he even knew it was a tranny.
We should not be operating out of a place of hate for anyone. We should be operating from a place of love for our kids. All of us.
Yeah. Let's listen to it one more time. I'm not going to interrupt it. This is so asinine.
All of us. And I have heard about a whole lot of hate that's being directed at our trans community. Anybody who is using this as an opportunity to villainize our trans community or any other community out there has lost their sense of common humanity. We should not be operating out of a place of hate for anyone. We should be operating from a place of love for our kids.
They're operating out of a place of hate for us. We're in the defensive posture now, Holmes. They hate us because we want to firm them. We're trying to save them from themselves with lack of gender-affirming of care. This is wild, man. How did we get here? I know how we got here. Obama, the first gay president, got us here. That's how we got here. You know, I used to say these things, and they would come across as Clay's extreme right. Clay's alt-right. He's homophobe, transphobe, nah. Man, I tell you what, it didn't take long. It didn't take about 3 years for Clay just to be right. I'm ultra-right. I'm uber-right. But not right of center. Just right versus wrong. I'm undefeated. I'm so right. We'll be right back on the Clay Edwards Show. Don't go nowhere. Welcome back in to the Clay Edwards Show here live on WYAB. This segment's brought to you by our friends over at Tri-County Tree Service. Russ Borland and his team. 601-940-5499. 601-940-5499. Kind of weather we got out there today, man. You could have some old trees falling down in your yard. Give them a call. Let them get it cleaned up for you. But better than that, how about give them a call before it falls? Call before it falls. There's a new slogan for them. Call before it falls. 601-940-5499. Let Tri-County Tree Service come out today. And they're probably booked up today, but let them come out and take a look at what you got there, see what needs to be done, whether you need to get some limbs trimmed back, some branches trimmed back so they don't fall on your house or cars or whatnot. Kids, tree doesn't fall. Man, I ain't got to sell this to you. You know if you got a tree that's getting ready to fall on your dang house. Let them little prevent defense. Get that tree cut down before you're having to deal with a whole lot bigger mess. Before you're having to call Jamie Creel at Shelter Insurance because a tree fell on your house and your insurance rates go up and all that. Tri-County Tree Service. Good folks, man. 601-940-5499. All right. Let's go back to the text machine, shall we? If anybody wants to call in, you got about 5 minutes to do it. The Mazda Jackson phone line. I hadn't opened it up today. There have been some calls. 601-879-0002. No private numbers. We don't answer those. No block numbers. So if you want to call in, call in. Let's check out the Guns and Gear text line real quick, shall we? It's interesting. We got a bunch of people watching on Rumble and on X this morning. Those are the only places we're streaming. But it doesn't let you comment, unfortunately. Well, it lets you comment there. Well, yeah, we got a couple texts on X here, a couple of live chats. Mark, watching on X, says, thankfully, the Constitution does not say they can take our rights away. All right, man, let's take a call here real quick on the Mazda Jackson phone line. Good morning, you're on there.
I got to give a big shout out to one of your sponsors, Clay.
All right.
Guns and Gears. Hunting the team over there. I dropped something off Saturday. I said, man, I'm no big hurry. It'll be a couple weeks. 2 days later, they called me, it's ready. Come get it.
Man, that's what they do over there. Under promise, over deliver.
Yes, sir. I mean, I was well pleased with what they done for me and just extremely how fast it got back. Like, whoa.
That's good stuff, man. You got any thoughts on this all this transgender nonsense this morning?
Yes, I do. I think a lot of it from when that stuff started coming out and got a head of steam going, I didn't realize they had a reality show about that little boy. I think some of the parents is pushing this on these kids.
Absolutely, especially out on the West Coast where it's trendy to have a trans kid. I mean, you're high society. You got a trans kid. Have you seen Magic Johnson's kid?
Yes.
Ooh wee, that's a poop show.
Will Smith.
Yeah. Dwayne Wade.
It's horrible.
Yep.
But I think like that school shooter a while back, they went after the parents. I think they should go after this dude's parent.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I think they should be held responsible. I think that's child abuse.
Oh yeah. Well, you knew they had a mental issue. Now, if this person's over 18, I don't think I don't think they can. But that other kid, under 18, and they do this, absolutely go after the parents.
Yes. Well, it was a couple of years ago. There was a woman in New Orleans when this was coming out, and she said that she knew her little girl wanted to be a boy because the little girl ate broccoli.
Because what?
The girl liked broccoli, and she said little girls don't like broccoli. Only boys do. So she was pushing for the girl to be a little boy.
Wow.
I mean, yes. I don't know if you. I get scared away when I hear stuff like that. And I just go start looking into it.
I didn't like broccoli. I didn't like broccoli till a couple of years ago. Did that make me gay?
That's what I'm saying. I mean, where do these people come up with these thoughts? I mean, it's crazy.
And what's crazier is like somebody heard her say that and thought to themselves, "Damn, she's right. I don't know any little boys that like broccoli or any little girls that like broccoli."
And they start looking at their children. But like I said, I think a bunch of it is the parents pushing this now. And because they want a little girl, didn't have a little girl, and had a little boy. A
lot of them are these women in the Madison Moms Facebook group.
Right.
That's where you go spread this kind of nonsense. Guys, ladies, I mean, did you know that little girls don't eat broccoli, so if they do, it means they want to be boys. You got a trans kid now. And a bunch of women are like, oh my God, I didn't even know that. Come here, little Robin.
Do you remember the one the man and woman was in Texas. They got divorced, and she was changing the boy over.
Yeah.
He was fighting, so she moved to California to where he couldn't do nothing to stop it.
Yeah, man.
I mean, that's wrong. I mean, no, when you're 18, 21, do whatever. Leave the children alone. I was going to say something, but I mean that right there. Leave the kids alone.
Man, what goes through my mind is he should be allowed to pull up on her and pull the trigger.
That's exactly. All right, Joe, I'm going to jump off here, man. Be blessed. Be safe.
Good hearing from you, brother.
All right.
Yeah, man. I would have no problem with a parent that was dealing with that. Just if they wanted to fall on the sword and end the other parent's life to save their kids, you know what, man? Sometimes life is full of very complicated and tough decisions. And if one of the parents has kidnapped the child and moved to California so they could cut its penis off, that parent deserves to die. Period. And whether the government agrees with that or not, unlikely. But Clay Edwards would have no problem building a statue of you. Again, this is all common sense stuff. I shouldn't be having to say these things. I mean, could you imagine? Just think about it. If your wife told you today, or your significant other, husband, wife, whatever, told you today that they were leaving you and taking the child, a young child, to California so they could have its penis cut off whether you liked it or not, what would you do? Let's take a call. Hey, you on there?
Hey, how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. The show that comes on when Hugh Hewitt used to come on, I think that's 4 and 5 or 5 and 6.
Oh, God, I'm not listening. I don't know.
I don't either. Just when I'm laying here trying to get woke up to hear Chip, and I catch some of it. I don't even know the guy's name. But he's a talk show,
Yeah.
And he said, actually it was a man that called in that he was talking to. And this man said that the day before these kids were shot, they had a open house kind of thing for the school. And he said when he got in there, he could not wait to get him and the kids out. Said it was Black Lives Matter fly, just all over, top to bottom. The rainbow flag, I forget what they call it this week, but the rainbow flag, and this is in a Catholic church.
Is it the one where the school shooting happened?
Yes.
Okay.
That man, he sounded like, just by his voice, like he may be like a grandpa.
Yeah.
To some of the kids or something. And he said the day before, that the kids got killed, and they were going to have, I don't know, whatever you did, what the kids do when they start school, meet their
meet the teachers, whatever. Gotcha. Orientation.
Yeah. And he said it was absolutely covered up in everything kids don't need. Sure.
Well, they suggesting that they reaped what they sowed.
He said he grabbed his tube and they left. I don't know if they went back.
Yeah, I'm guessing they didn't get shot if he's calling into the talk show, but talk about it. Well, yeah, look, that school hired that Catholic school. I'm going to let you go. Thank you for the call. That Catholic school hired this transgender person. Now, I'm not Catholic. I don't agree with a lot of the stuff the Catholic Church does. They have teetered into some dangerous grounds supporting the LGBTQ stuff, the agenda, supporting the agenda. And y'all know there's a big difference between homosexuality and the LGBTQ agenda. And the Catholic Church dangerously supported all this trans stuff. So they hired, and I opened the show talking about this. They let the fox in the hen house. I got it right this time. You know that the trans people hate these Christian schools, especially these people who went to these Christian schools and then decided to convert to trans. They felt like they were bullied, all that stuff. You cannot hire a trans person to work around kids. Just like I said earlier, you don't hire a pedophile to work at a daycare. You don't hire a bank robber to work at a bank. I mean, the government does this kind of stuff. They'll hire bad check, counterfeit check writers to work for the FBI. They'll hire hackers to work for the CIA and the FBI. They'll hire the criminals. They'll hire drug dealers to go sell their drugs, but you can't do that in real life now. Let's take a break, come back, land the plane for the day. This is the Clay Edwards Show. I hope there will be one of these tomorrow after today. But if not, it's been real. It's been fun. And I went down, guns blazing. We'll be right back. All right, online audience, appreciate y'all today. I'm just going to come back and sign off. I don't anticipate saying anything worth you guys having to stick around for 4 minutes of radio silence to hear. We'll be back on all the major platforms tomorrow. I may just be doing it from the house. I'm kidding. I don't anticipate being kicked off the radio. But man, these are the kind of shows. This was the kind of message that we are really glad we have this FM radio signal for. And these platforms like Rumble, these platforms like X. Because that's how they've smothered these conversations from happening in mainstream. On Facebook and YouTube and Twitch and TikTok and Instagram and all these other mainstream platforms, is the second you're anything but pro-trans, they kill it. They kill the account. Don't matter how many followers you have, how much money you make them. It's trans over everything. TOE, baby. Trans over everything. Not anymore. Not anymore. Common sense is back. Men, real men, are going to get us out of this. Weak men got us into this. Real men going to get us out of this. Whether y'all like it or not. Kicking and screaming, we're dragging you back into a civilized society with morals, one way or another. Y'all be blessed. Check out my website, buyfafo.com. Grab one of these shirts I'm wearing, buyfafo.com. Welcome back in to the Clay Edwards Show. Guys, as we land the plane here, so blessed to have a platform like WYAB to get on and speak on these things. Get out and support these sponsors on this show, the other shows here, the commercials you hear during the breaks from 6 a.m. to 6 a.m. every day. That's what keeps this train rolling down the tracks. Let them know you appreciate it, because that's what allows us to get on here and do this. And I couldn't be more grateful for this opportunity today. I was so excited to get up this morning and come do this show. I was chomping at the bit for 2 hours of live radio, as Jameson Haygood used to say this morning. So grateful. Man, I bit my tongue all night last night, trying not to get myself kicked off social media. I'll see you guys back here tomorrow, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m., assuming they'll have me right here on WYAB. I'm going to go get some lunch. Y'all be blessed.